Hey there, listeners. I hope everyone is doing well out there. After 4 weeks of the series on getting out of my head, I am finally moving on. This was hard because the series is the theme of my life. I'm always deep in thought and I'm always trying to create connection. And for those that I coach, the change that happens is in the thinking. It's what happens in our brains that creates change. I consider keeping this going, but I'm pausing for now, and I just may come back to it later this year because we all need to assess and challenge our thinking. But this week, I'm going in a new direction. I'm digging into our culture once again. I'm unplugged most of the time from media, but I can't miss all of the celebrations that's happening right now and over the last couple of weeks on college campuses, high school campuses. There's a lot of graduations happening. Not all the news has been good. There's been protest, but primarily there's a lot of reason for graduates to celebrate and move on to their next stage of life, which got me thinking, where are these speeches for those of us that are in the school of life, for those of us that have reached midlife, for those of us that have gotten over burnout, gotten through the midlife crisis, and we've actually made it through with flying colors? Well, we're in for a little bit of fun today because I am giving a speech for the students of Mid-Life YOUniversity, home of the burning flames. After this break, we'll be right back with the ceremony. You are listening to the Work-Life YOUbiosis podcast with your host, Charleston Edwards. If this is your first time here, welcome. My goal is simple, to bring harmony and balance to this world, starting with the family. There is so much more to life than the 9 to 5, and this show is designed to bring you inspiration, motivation, and practical solutions to bring balance and joy back to your life. Work-life balance is not a myth, it's a choice. Themes on this show range widely between faith, family rhythms, work, and lifestyle philosophies. You will also hear burning ladder essays submitted by our community of friends and listeners who ditched the rat race, beat burnout to pursue a more balanced and purposeful life. My hope is that this show and the stories shared will provide encouragement, motivation, and will provide some ideas that will be valuable to you on your journey to work-life freedom. So let's dive into today's episode. It's that time of year again, and the world's rich and famous are giving commencement speeches all over this country to inspire our next generation. The American dream is the theme of most of these speeches, and each speaker has their own unique interpretation and play on words of how to achieve success in life. I'm all for inspirational commencements. I feel like I could give one myself. Mine would actually challenge the meaning of success. Because of this, I'm probably the last person any higher ed institution would ever want to bring in to advise kids on what to do next with their lives. I have no extra credentials, no fame, no stored up riches, nor a blue check mark on my socials. Nor is that my desire, which therein lies the problem. I'm mostly countercultural. I'm a little bit quirky. I'm happy and fulfilled without success, or at least without most people's own definition of success. And that is where I would start. Success has a different meaning for everyone. It took 21 years to get my Bachelor of Science, and then it took another 21 years to the School of Midlife to get my burnout degree, or my first degree burn, pending how you look at it. Burnout wakes people up to a completely different definition of what success is. And yes, on average, it takes us until midlife to experience this great awakening. Burnout is how we get admitted into Mid-Life YOUniversity. The diploma and those that have made it through this university have secondary degrees called wisdom, authenticity, and passion. They have a new purpose. No one talks about the Mid-Life University, but if we are blessed, we will all get to attend. There are no student loans or overpriced admissions. Our burnout credit score is our full ride scholarship. Burnout is not the only scholarship. Career pivots, parenthood, caring for older loved ones, work-life imbalance, chronic worry and stress, or big family moves also gives us the credentials to be part of the school of midlife. Midlife is life's biggest intersection. So wherever you're sitting in this season, consider today's advice to the class of 2024 as part of your electives and continued education, if you choose to act over the perspectives that are shared today. What is success? The world gives us two primary paths to answer this question: get a job or make a job. For most college graduates, the first step to success is to choose a profession and to get a job. Starting on the corporate ladder is about acquiring not only money, but skills, experience, and a network. This is important. This is also a standard measure of success. What we've never told is that this mindset around work could shift when we get married, have kids, and experience the tests, temptations, and trials of life. The curriculum of unexpected turns in life are courses that we all have to take, which has landed most of us here at Mid-Life YOUniversity. But not everyone will come to this particular university. The majority of our enrollment is looking for more because the corporate ladder of success failed us. The ladder didn't bring us happiness or fulfillment. The ladder was not strong enough for the fires of life that we have all experienced. So we burn those ladders in the pursuit of more. At Mid-Life YOUniversity, we are still in our prime, and we are at least 20 years away from the world's finish line of 65. But with one life crash, perhaps the notorious midlife crash, we are rethinking it all. Did we get it wrong? What am I doing with my life? What is my new purpose? Why is it so hard to be an adult? Who am I? Why am I here? We used to be young and foolish, but in our midlife crisis, this question is still being asked. Am I still being young and foolish? At Mid-Life YOUniversity, we are reevaluating our relationship with the world of work and the world's definition of success. How should we approach and how do we fit in? How can we still have a life of purpose but still raise a family? The tug of war is real. Because I'm still enrolled in Mid-Life YOUniversity, I can't make promises about tomorrow, nor should I answer any of these questions for you. But my perfect attendance to Mid-Life You over the last few years has taught me a lot about being young and foolish. I have failed some of my classes, but day by day, the classes are challenging me to rethink success, rethink my priorities, and rethink my relationship with work, life, and family. At Mid-Life You, we eventually learn that success is not about the grades. It's about the heart. In a world of work, success is not about perfection. It's about the heart. Our hearts represent our ambition and our why. Our hearts continue to go through the classes of life, and with each passing grade, our hearts show us the path towards passion and purpose. Part of earning a degree at Mid-Life YOUniversity comes with when we can stop thinking about how to be successful. It's the wrong question. Success is the wrong goal. The pursuit of worldly success is the quickest way to flunk out of Mid-Life You. So what is the goal? How can we be part of the class of 2024 or any future class of Mid-Life U? Mid-Life University students have one singular goal: authenticity. Our students move out of the achievement culture to create an authentic culture. Mid-Life University has the goal of helping its students out of the midlife crisis and into midlife authenticity. Our university holds a mirror up to all of us and asks the question, who are you? Most of us have somehow navigated off course in the pursuit of success at a very young age. And now the School of Life has enrolled us to be reevaluators of our ambitions, motivations, and most importantly, our identities. What we have learned in the first half of life is that success has its benefits, but our second half is about service. When we focus on service, success is the byproduct. Worldly success, measures like wealth, recognition, and status are all byproducts of life. But worldly success does not correctly measure our identities. When we can get to the core of our unique design and the gifts we have to give to this world, then our hearts change and our eyes start to refocus on a different goal. Instead of success, our goal is service. Success is the byproduct. Speaking of byproducts, this is what the world tells us to do more of. All of our work revolves around selling or buying the next best thing. It's the human condition to buy products to meet our needs. We work to be able to afford these blessings. This creates consumerism and capitalism. We all have a role to play in the economy. This is not wrong, and this is also important. But let's flip it. What if our top goal was to be a product versus buying products? What if our promotions came by merit, not by popularity contest? What if we really followed the age-old idiom of, it is better to give than to receive? This would mean that we work to be a blessing, and the physical blessings, the monetary blessings, are just the byproduct. Giving is the goal, and this happens by service. Our byproducts are our blessings, and this spells success. Our own personal definitions of success will find us when our motivations are pure, which is to put people first in our unique, authentic ability to show up in this world. Let's circle back to how we got here to Mid-Life University. What's good for us is typically disguised by pain. It's the interruptions of life is where we find life. Opportunities and blessings live in interruptions. Burnout is certainly one big disruption, right? In a hustle culture that sets us up for burnout, we are constantly seeking fresh water to relieve the burning hot conditions. Consider today your watering hole. Yes, there is hope in burnout. Burnout wakes us up to what matters most. Burnout stops us in our tracks. Burnout impregnates change. Burnout, quite possibly, is the disruptor that puts us back on track toward a greater repurpose for our lives. If I didn't burn out 5 years ago, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be listening right now. I am incredibly grateful that I burned out. It changed the entire course of my life. Sometimes we just need a change of perspective in the light of a painful situation to see the beauty and the opportunity. At Mid-Life University, we help you put achievements on the back burner and to give you a wider lens to the front burner, which is you. But I also know that the last thing anyone wants to hear when we're in a crisis is that it will be okay. It's the last thing we should ever say when someone is grieving. The best advice may be nothing at all, and to sit with someone in silence in their pain. If this is you, take the time to grieve in silence. Take the time to reflect on the grieving process. Take time to pray. Take time to reflect. Take time to talk to God. And when you're ready, come back with the help of a friend, a confidant, or family member who can support your healing journey. Burnout may kill old dreams, old identities, and old vantage points. However, on the other side is wisdom, new dreams, and new perspectives of the past, which is much brighter. Choose wisdom, not bitterness. For those of you who are embracing the Mid-Life YOUniversity experience, you're probably feeling a bit awkward. This is normal. At the heart of earning the diploma at Mid-Life U is an encounter with true identities. A wake-up call to our inner souls to finally face past traumas, forgotten childhood dreams, or quirks that we've tried to mask in our professional endeavors. Midlife feels like we're back in first grade and figuring it all out again of what we want to do when we grow up. At Mid-Life YOUniversity, our identity is the focus. This is where we find authenticity. When we know who we are, we will know what to do next. The world has a labeling system, and these labels impact not only how we show up, but how we feel. But these labels are traps because they never go deeper into who we really are at the core. Our world promotes groupthink. But at Mid-Life YOUniversity, we see through this smoking mirror to finally see ourselves in full clarity. This is the key lesson at Mid-Life YOUniversity, getting to know ourselves again. This is how we can grow in our internal confidence. We must examine how we have evolved as an adult with how we were originally designed. When we answer this, we answer the question of how we can embrace all the quirks that we spent decades trying to hide from the public. At Mid-Life U, we introduce our true nature to what we've nurtured for years. And yes, this can get very awkward. What I've learned is that our weird talents and interests could be our biggest gifts to the world. These talents aren't always visible to the naked eye because it's under our skin, in between our ears, and ingrained into our hearts. Searching for external success instead of internal success is the reason that we get lost searching for meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. We have drifted away from our God-given abilities. Some of us have to change the question from, what was I born to do for work, to, how was I born to do work? It's in the how that we will find out the who and the what. How does your light shine? When you know this, the world is full of opportunities around every dark corner to be that light. Pay attention to what you're forcing, and if there is resistance, examine if it's just an emotional challenge or something you just weren't designed to do. Your design matters. Maybe it's time to remove the spotlights that are shining on the weakness of what I can't do and to put that spotlight on what I can do. As we look in the mirror of I cans, we finally see the full spectrum. Friends, we are all on the spectrum, and this is the best news that you will ever hear. Embracing our place on the spectrum is the #1 way to defeat imposture syndrome. When we try new things, take on new adventures, or chase a foreign career path that we are being gravitated towards. This is a fast track to earning a diploma at Mid-Life U. So much of our energy and our lives are wasted trying to be normal. It wrecks our nervous systems. Being authentic is going to look different. Being authentic wakes us up to the ability to be creative, novel, and joyful. And yes, it will be a tad bit weird. I'm different. I guarantee that not too many people are giving graduation speeches to midlifers. And if only one person gets anything out of this, then I have done what I was called to do. Show up and be me. And that is your call to action. Show up and be you. It's typically our attempts to normalize being professional that gives us our first degrees of burnout. When we reflect on this, we can see that the burnout doesn't only come from overwhelm, it comes from doing too little of what we were uniquely designed to do. When we aren't living authentically to be who we were born to be, when we aren't comfortable in our own skin, when we aren't building the necessary boundaries to protect our true identities, we crash and burn out. Who are we at the core? We are human beings. We must be authentic to our design. When we understand that there is a very distinct uniqueness to everyone who walks this beautiful earth, why should we care about what others think? Who else can better answer this than a child? For example, my 6-year-old gets a charcuterie board for breakfast almost every single day. This is not an over-exaggeration. Olives, pepperoni, corn, chips, pickles, olives, pretzels, raspberries, and organic, no-nitrate, all-beef hot dogs with ketchup that has to be cut up. The menus change from month to month, but it's never the standard American breakfast. At some point in our lives, we are all conditioned to be normal, the standard American dream. This is SAD. S for standard, A for American, D for dream. SAD. So, when we are not going after that degree any longer, we are shamed. I get it. We can't wear PJs to church, we can't lick our bowls in public, and we can't get charcuterie boards for breakfast at McDonald's. More advice for my 6-year-old. But what we can embrace is our uniqueness, our style, our interests, and what we like. My child is normal because it's her. It's me. It's all of us. It's called being authentic to who we are and who we are designed to be. Don't let the world define your definition of normal. In speaking with a dear friend this week, I was reminded that at Midlife, we are reparenting ourselves. We are growing up again. We go full circle multiple times. When we see this, we cannot see it any longer. We cannot unsee the value of continuing the growth cycle. Oh, the cycle of life has its sense of humor. So here's the conclusion. Lose the fear of what others think. Because once you're out there like that, you will find other weirdos who think you're normal. They may buy from you. They may be the byproduct of you being you. They just may need the wisdom that only you are able to give because you earned a first-degree burnout, but turned that around into a master's degree from Mid-Life YOUniversity. Work hard. Love others, honor God, and be you. These 4 things will take you through the fires of life. Thank you for listening to the Work-Life YOUbiOSIS podcast, part of the Work-Life resources created by Own Your 5 to 9. I hope that you have found encouragement and a few ideas to strengthen your journey to purpose, freedom, and balance. Have you overcome burnout and found a new way of life? Millions around the globe are still at the risk of burnout and losing it all, and your story may be the one that sparks not only a dream, but action. Visit ownyour5to9.com for more information and to submit your story. While you're there, join the Work-Life YOUbiOSIS newsletter and receive additional resources weekly right to your inbox. If you enjoy this podcast, take time to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Share it with a friend or a loved one. Remember, the most important organization in the world is the family. Let's do our part to strengthen it. Thank you for listening.